I'm Dan Scarfe, CEO and founder at XRAI. I spent 20 years building what would become the world's largest Microsoft partner. We grew that company to over 600 people and over $100 million of turnover before selling to Cognizant in the summer of 2020 for over $300 million. Whilst I was serving my prison term, I'm in completing my retention agreement. I was back in the UK with my granddad, who, like many 96-year-olds, had lost almost all of his hearing, sitting surrounded with his family, but unable to engage in the conversation. I had this epiphany about why can't we combine real-time subtitles with augmented reality to create live subtitles? And so XRAI was born. Of course, my granddad is not alone. Over 1.5 billion people live with some form of hearing loss. And unfortunately, by 2050, that's projected to grow to 2.5 billion people. But of course, hearing loss is just one barrier to communication. Only 18% of the world's population speak English. Imagine we had an ability to bridge that communication gulf. So with those two challenges in mind, we set off on our mission, which was how can we take all of this incredible AI technology we hear about every day and put it to good use? And we were humbled by the response that we received with national TV news coverage in almost every country in the world. So what is it that we have? There are three parts to the XRAI platform: our Glass solution, our Babelfish solution, and our Stream solution. So let's start with XRAI Glass. Imagine now that we've got access to the world's best transcription engines, and we can now suddenly get incredible levels of accuracy in conversations, which happen all of the time with friends and family. Now suddenly those conversations can be captured and understood. But now imagine that you're perhaps with a caregiver, someone that doesn't speak English. Now with XRAI Babelfish, we're able to bridge that communication guide and actually facilitate communication in over 140 different languages. But looking at your phone is not the best experience. So much of communication is non-facial expressions. It's the frown, the smile. So we partnered with all of the world's leading augmented reality glass manufacturers to make sure that our software works seamlessly with all of them. But unfortunately, with that flexibility comes confusion. And our users told us that what they really wanted was an all-in-one device made by us, purpose-built for XRAI Glass. So I'm delighted to announce that literally today we have unveiled the XRAI AR1, an all-in-one solution using some of the latest and greatest technology with our software built natively into it for the first time. We think there's a huge market for this. If you look just at the US, 30 million potential customers, assuming 10% of those would be able to afford it, that's 3 million people, and assuming we could only hit 5% of them, that's 150,000 users who's spending $750 a year is over $100 million of revenue. The translation market is arguably even bigger, with perhaps every citizen as a potential customer. Assuming only 10% would be prepared to pay for it, and assuming only 1% of them with us, that's still 300,000 users and nearly $75 million of revenue. We've seen explosive growth with nearly 20,000 users from almost every country in the entire world. We have extensive defensible IP. We've invested millions of dollars creating this application. It works on any operating system. It works on any AI provider. It works on any device. We think this ability to work with everyone, this agnosticity, is actually what really sets us apart in the market. We have competition, of course, because we do so many things. From a captioned glass perspective, we compete with organizations like Xander. We believe that our glasses are lighter weight, they're full color, they're a much superior experience. We compete with free, of course. Our partners are also our competitors, but we believe that our myopic focus on data security will hold us in good stead with some consumers and certainly with our enterprise customers. From an events perspective with Stream, we compete with organizations like Interprify, but we're able to significantly undercut them on cost. There are extensive abilities for us to continue to innovate. We're really excited about having other people pay for this technology. How can we work with insurance companies and governments to get this technology subsidized? There's huge amounts that we can do to help the neurodiverse. Imagine that we could compress the number of words that people were reading by 50% to help people to be able to understand that information more effectively. And some of these new glasses have cameras on them, which unlock all kinds of other exciting things we can do, such as automated lip reading for better speaker identification. So with that buzz there, my time with you is up, but I'm really honoured that you would invite us here as a finalist, and I'm looking forward to your questions.
That's fantastic. And Dan is here live with us as well to take questions, and Glennis is up first. Glennis.
Oh, thank you. Really, really intriguing. So one of the challenges with the older population is that there's sensory impairment along many lines. So it's not just auditory. Sometimes it's accompanied by sight and a host of other issues. So with the glasses, how do you correct for people who have multiple impairments? So are they reading glasses and you're overlaying on existing prescriptions?
So as part of the checkout experience, you select if you want prescription inserts. You then just upload your prescription. There's a set of lenses that get sent out directly to you. Those lenses just click onto the inside of the glasses, and then you can use them as if they were your normal glasses. So the text gets displayed about 1.5 meters in front of you. So they tend to be long distance lenses rather than reading lenses they put into them, but it can vary from person to person.
Okay. And in terms of the processing data and the cost associated with delivering this in real time around the world, is that built into your model?
Yes, absolutely. So our subscription licensing cost covers, the costs that we incur from the hyperscalers to provide those services. So yes, that is an all-in-one cost to the user.
Okay. And latency, have you done measurements on that?
It's less than 1 second, probably closer to half a second from audio to text. So it's almost real time. You can't tell any difference really. It's quite incredible.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Fantastic. And looks like Yasmin's on camera. Yasmin, you're up.
Yes. So can you talk a little bit about the Google Glasses and others that are kind of doing some sort of this work, and a little bit more about your competition, and elaborate a little bit more on your IP, why they won't be able to infringe on and do exactly what you're doing?
Yep. So, I mean, the Google Glass were obviously released 10 years ago, and they were sort of the very first set of devices. They were about 10 years too early, so they were a little hamstrung and not particularly useful. But there are a whole range of manufacturers, as I mentioned, that we work with, XRAI and Rainio, TCL, and so forth. Now, the hyperscalers, Meta, Google, and so forth, are releasing their own augmented reality glasses, we think, in about 2 years' time. So we have at least a 2-year head start on them. Also, we welcome them. The fact that we sell our own glasses, we also partner with other manufacturers. So when Google release their glasses, you'll be able to run our X-ray software on them as well. So we welcome as many glasses as possible, really. How do we stop them competing with us? I mean, in a way, we don't. These solutions will come. Google will make some of what we make available for free. As I said, we compete with free. And we are focused on those consumers that don't want their conversations being used to advertise to them, which is, we hope, a number of consumers, but also enterprises. There is no way that an enterprise will use some free thing from Google. They would much rather pay, and in fact, our software supports deployment into their own clouds. So it doesn't even run in our environment. It's all completely locked away, nice and secure. So our main barrier to entry is just speed to market, quality of execution.
Okay, and just for your use case that you started off with your grandfather and having a conversation at a party, how well does your software do with ambient noises? And if your grandfather is looking at you, then is it mostly concentrating? Is it easy for it to concentrate on what you're saying, or your sister, who might be sitting on his right, is also talking? How well does it do with that transcription?
So with the background noise, phenomenally well. I was demoing this. I'm actually at a conference right now. I'm at Augmented World Expo, where we are live transcribing 9 stages right now. So hopefully it doesn't go wrong whilst I'm here. But we were at a venue last night. I could barely hear the person talk. It was so loud. yet the glasses were able to capture absolutely perfectly what they were saying. They have highly directional microphones on them, so they will only capture audio from a kind of 20-degree cone in front of you. So they are remarkably effective.
Thank you.
Fantastic. All right, Tiffany.
Great. Thanks so much, Dan. Can you talk a little bit about right now, is it primarily kind of out-of-pocket pay? I'm assuming this is not reimbursed yet.
Correct, yes, and one of the things that we're obviously keen on is finding somebody else to pay for this. We're only 2 years old as a company. I mean, these glasses only launched 72 hours ago, so we're very, very early in the cycle, but we are confident because of the quality of improvement of life that we can bring, that, you know, we should be able to get some or all of the costs of this funded by somebody.
That's great. And do you have a sense for maybe what metrics or what you need to show an improvement in order to get the reimbursement over time?
I guess usage, you know, feedback from users. I mean, we've already had 20,000 people using this, and we've had, you know, incredible feedback from them. Honestly, we haven't even tried yet. I mean, we've just been so busy doing everything else that we just haven't tried. So, but I'm confident that when we do, you know, we've got a great story. We can help people so much, hopefully.